Hey everybody, it's Chance here again with another episode of MalViolence by Mato Kali. Um, Last time what happened was we went through some more rooms. Well, we went through one more room. And it had some puzzles that I didn't understand, so I cheated a little bit. And then, but in that room, more importantly, we kind of got some information about the cybernetics that probably Dr. Danger was working on, as well as different sites that she was clearly attacking as far as Stop is concerned. Also, we got the pretty direct confirmation, essentially. Well, we didn't get the confirmation, but like, it's not particularly subtle about how the fact that maybe Dr. Danger has a connection to Stop. Mayhaps? Question mark. Um, and probably Caution as well. Um, we know that there are kids escaping, or at least Dr. Danger and Caution are attempting to help them escape. Um, and that Dr. Danger was trying something out and was preparing essentially a babysitter to watch over Caution in the time she was away. And we can assume that Dr. Danger didn't. We know she blew up, so she probably did not survive. And I don't know how long it's been. Well, no, we probably have like a week ago, I think. It's only been a week, but like, where's this babysitter? Etc. etc. And now we've essentially entered my. Oh, okay. I was like, why is it freaking out? It's because my controller, the button was being hit. So let's just go right into it. Okay, we're now in this new room, and let's just take a look-see. You pick up what appears to be a generic scrapbook, like those shoved to the back shelves of shoved to the back shelves of charity stores. Looking closely, you can still see the remnants of price sticker glue. It feels normal. Too normal. The book's clearly hiding some deep, dark secret. I don't think so. But the inner contents are equally normal. All you find are photographs of a woman who looks a lot like Dr. Danger, a young boy with a crooked, toothy grin. The craftsmanship on display isn't anything remarkable, with poorly cut edges and tacky glitter glue smeared across the cheap cardstock. At least the pages seem to be in chronological order. In the earliest photos, the boy is bedridden, his skin is unnaturally pale, and his gaze is unfocused. Empty, even. But as you flick through the pages, he grows stronger. He gets out of bed. His eyes shine with inspiration and intelligence. He smiles. The woman in these photos must have taken good care of him. The later photos are self-explanatory. Each moment is carefully dated and annotated. Playing video games, reading bedtime stories, and what seems to be a movie night. You know the film they're watching. It's that one cartoon about the alien supervillain, the one with the very big brain but a very little common sense, Megamind? Hold on. Wasn't this film released 3 months after this photo was taken? Looks like Stop will have to add digital piracy to Dr. Danger's long list of crimes. God. Like... just... It is really astounding, because the main character is just like, well, clearly there has to be something evil and malicious. And it's like, wow, turns out people are people. It's fucking crazy. Absolutely insane. It's a crumpled, heavily worked over notebook filled with grandiose ramblings in the third person. Lots of exclamation points and capital letters and ego-massaging and spidery handwriting. But the more you flip back through the pages, the more the writing grows negative. Another neater set of handwriting appears, leaving words of encouragement. Even further back, the spidery handwriting disappears. The neater writer takes over, marking the wrinkled pages with crisp grids and clear lessons. Shaky, barely legible scribbles sit below, rounding out vague letter-like shapes. It almost looks like a therapeutic exercise, or a homework assignment. Maybe it's both, but it's obvious that the notebook's author hasn't used it in a long time. Personally, you wouldn't be caught dead using the third person. You only use the second person, and even then, only for gathering your thoughts in high-stakes scenarios. There's a small kitchenette. It looks like it hasn't been used recently. Didn't Dr. Danger take care of all the cooking? A handwritten note sits on the counter. Looks like a recipe for pancakes. Fridge seems well stocked too. Let's see if Cautionne likes your take on Dr. Danger's recipe. Okay. Always begin cooking with mise en place. Drag items onto the board to arrange them. Look at the ingredients list to figure out how much of each item should be laid out on the counter. All items of the same type should be directly adjacent to each other. Items of different types should not touch directly but can touch diagonally. Drag unneeded items to the trash. Okay, so... Okay, so we need 5... Well, there's only 4 pieces of bacon. I don't really understand. Wait, so, just curious, so 1... that's how many are in the stack, including, so it's 0, 0 is indexed. So 4 here means that there are 5 in the array. Okay. Can do. Alright, so... Okay, they're next to each other. All items of the same type should be directly adjacent to each other. Items of different types should not touch directly, but can touch diagonally. Then this is flour, so we need... I don't fully understand this puzzle, but I'm gonna just mess around anyway, because I don't really lose anything from messing around. This ingredient list, these pancakes sound foul. Full offense to Dr. Danger on this one. Sorry. Okay, so this one is clearly going to be one of the harder ones, so let me just let's just lay out these eggs to start. Okay, eggs laid out. Nuts laid out. Milk laid out. Okay. Oh! Maybe... Okay. Alright, so then we run into a little bit, so we want, I think I want these 3 here, like that. It's okay if it's diagonal. Okay. I am just kind of messing around right now, at least. This is hard. Okay. Who has the most? So, the blueberries, the eggs, the butter, and the strawberries. These are probably a little more... These two, at least, are probably easier to mess around. Now this is a toughie. Oh, wait, maybe. Oh. Is everything here satisfy? Yes, Bentley, what is it, baby? You solved the puzzle! I did it. Suddenly, the stove pops open. There's a photo inside of it with the text written on the back. I don't remember what food was like at the orphanage. Probably bland. I wish I could forget what lab script tastes like, but meals were usually the least painful part of my day at the lab, so I've got a soft spot for the stuff. But that wasn't food. It was nutritious and edible and nothing more. It didn't fill you up. It wasn't warm. There wasn't any thought in it at all. Pancakes are food. They sizzle in the pan and curl up at the edges, and they make little bubbles when they need flipping. You can undercook them, or burn them, or bury them in toppings, or eat them with your hands. They're filling and tasty and oh so warm. I'm sure I could easily recreate her recipe. It's hardly rocket science, even with one arm. But I've never had someone cook for me before. I like to pretend I'm not capable for a little while longer. Nothing to say now, huh, twerp? The lock for the door is a scrapbook? Its pages are empty, though. Reread notes. Oh, I like to watch her work. It's normally very calming, but when she's making something explosive, it's really exciting. The other day, I noticed she'd forgotten her flash wielder. I fought it over to her, saying that I wanted to test out the grip strength of my new arm. She saw through my excuse, but she let me help anyway. I even made a few suggestions of my own, and guess what? Guess what? She ended up using every single idea. She said it was impressive how quickly I'd picked up on what her design needed. She smiled at me with such pride, but at the same time there was this sad look in her eyes. I've noticed she's sad a lot, and I want to do something to change that. Well, these are probably earlier, while this one's probably later. Let's go up. Messy. Lots of books. Ooh, what's this? There are a few plushies sitting on the shelf. They're surprisingly soft. You investigate the cupboard below the plushies where, whoa, an avalanche of plushies bails out, burying you in a soft, fuzzy pile. This would be a comfy way to go out, but you should probably put everything back. What a mess! You need to clean up all these toys by sorting them into sets. The set is made up of 4 unique toys. You can reach toys by moving them up, down, left, or right. You can't move diagonally. Plot your moves carefully as the toys shift. They may get harder to reach. Right. So you want them in sets of... A set is made of 4 unique toys. So there's a mouse, slug, caterpillar, and spider. So we want one of each in each one. And I can move myself. So let's just test it. Oh. Okay, so once I make a match, let's just test it. Oh, I see. Okay. It has to be in a line. Okay, I understand a little bit. In we go. Alright, let's see. Well, I need to get to that guy, so... Bonk. Okay. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty easy, actually. One of the plushies rips open, revealing a photo inside. The back of the photo is black with words. She told me to explore the place. She said it was important that I adjust to my new environment, but she's been holed up in the lab. I don't know why she's so stressed about my surgeries. She's the smartest person I know. and I grew up surrounded by brilliant scientists, so that's saying something. She said she's still concerned about making adjustments to my synthetic nerves, that she's worried she'll put me through even more pain. But every time she's worked on my new limbs, I haven't felt a thing. Last time, I actually fell asleep. No comments at all. You find an assortment of patterns, books, and materials for sewing. There's a little sack of half-finished items, a skirt, and a blouse in conservative colors. Right next to it, a whole pile of hand-stitched garments in garish yellows, greens, and reds. Like it seems like someone handed their sewing books down to a more imaginative type. You're well aware that sewing isn't just a simple hobby. Many of STOP's associated security forces take up the practice when first cybernetics are implanted. After such a big operation, fine needlework quickly rehabilitates hand-eye coordination, but you doubt they'd make such a large collection of fuzzy mittens. When you look at the bust in front of you, you recall a half-serious lesson on disguising yourself back when you were a trainee. From what you remember, this appears to be a mannequin for a wig, but Dr. Danger has a head full of hair. Did she need to disguise herself? Intel's always suggested her mastery over tech kept her off any camera she cared about. I mean, caution. Caution's right there, dude. This is clearly about caution, You pick up a clipboard with a thick stack of charts and diagrams pinned to the front. Subject Recuperation Log is printed at the top in a harsh, black lettering. At the bottom of the page, you spot an acronym, YTDI. You flip through the log. The recuperation described here is difficult to read. Seizures, phantom pain, memory loss, and brain damage are all expected results, not side effects. Scrawled notes speculate that these symptoms would last for several years or decades, perhaps even permanently. Implanting cybernetics in individuals under 18 isn't illegal, but it is frowned upon. From the logbook, a lot of children were implanted, children well under the age of 18. There's nothing here about informed consent or parental permissions. Evidently, parents weren't involved. A loose page with handwriting on it. Judging by the number in the corner and the fading ink, it must be a small part of a much larger document. Entry set number 1. It's nice to have job security right out of school. I had my doubts during junior year, of course, but I don't think anyone could have predicted how the sector's grown the past few months. The developments in cybernetic technology have been explosive, sometimes literally. It's troubling, but all great technology has the potential for misuse. And now I'm going to be part of an organization that works to keep that tech under control. Though, I'll be honest, the name's pretty silly. Oh well, they could always change that acronym later. Entry set number 2. I thought that things were moving fast before, but the growth we're seeing now makes all those earlier years look glacial. STOP is doing good work that needs to get done, and it's making countries put money where their mouths are in front of international cooperation efforts. Last month, we managed to draft a digital data management system that could tell us wherever a Danger cybernetic schematic was downloaded, and where it was downloaded to. This month, we finalized our report on maximizing cybernetic synchronization for patients, confirming my earlier theory that the younger, the better. The difference really was astounding, and I must admit it felt good to shove that 19% performance increase right in that stuffy bastard's smug face. Dr. Tan asked if the trends in performance would improve further if we started surgery any earlier. A weird question since this tech is only approved for anyone old enough to enlist, but I guess she was just being thorough. The theory is sound. The promotion was nice. I deserve it, and I was the only obvious choice, but still. It felt nice to be recognized. Anything else? I wanna see more information, please. Please and thank you. No? Okay. Well, what's this? Ouch! Seems like you stepped on a rogue sewing pin. What's a large and sewing pinning project doing all spread out on the floor? Looks like a quilt. Must have been too big for a little sewing desk. Some reason you want to finish it. Okay. The quilt's unfinished and you need to make it complete. Each tile has 3 traits: color, shape, and fill. In order to finish the intended pattern, each adjacent tile must share at least 2 out of 3 traits with the next tile. Below, construct the next motif you want to place by adjusting the color, shape, and fill with the arrows. Okay. Okay, let's see. So we have red, green, no, not green, red, yellow, and blue, flame, warning, swirly, X, fill, okay, so filled, slashed, okay. Alright, let's start looking. Okay, so we have red, swirl, digged, red's here, so this one's probably red. Let's just start simple, up. The difference between these two is that this one is dashed while this one is full. So they're either... So it could probably be this? No. Yes. This, which then would switch to this. That seems right to me. Then this is here as well, but it's yellow, so maybe we want a swirly here, but that's yellow, because then it shares the swirl and the dashes, and this one sells the yellow and the dashes. Okay. This one's clearly... I'll figure that out. So these are dashed, so this one's probably also dashed, and yellow. Share exactly 2 out of 3 with the next tile. Then yellow here, but solid with the caution sign, so let's do yellow flames. Okay, red. Swirl. It's changed to full. So let's do... Let's see. Maybe it needs to be... It can be yellow, but it needs to be empty. So then this is empty and can be flames. Empty yellow flames, then it becomes blue, empty flames. Then this is yellow, so... Oh, this one's tough, so... Probably solid. Oh, probably red swirl. Because then that would explain why these ghosts will become solid swirls, but can be different colors. Okay. Okay, this is coming together. Yellow. Let's make it... that. How about that one? And then... let's have this one be full, but blue. Then let's have it be flames. Solid blue. Then that changes the color and that makes it transparent. think this works. Let me save. Wow, you're far from delicate, aren't you? I'd like to think of myself as a lenient kind of guy, but watching you butcher that sentimental quid is pretty painful. Like a death by 1,000 cuts, or needles in this case. You hear a switch go off and... Subject failed to appreciate the value of good stitch work, and so was impaled by 1,024 needles. NB, it needed to be the square number for the triggering mechanism to hit its mark. Contributive factors to death couldn't sew their way out of a wet paper bag. Death N to 11. Killed in action. That's actually pretty funny. Let's go back to the save. Okay, so we're restarting this. Okay. Let's just start with the patterns that already have 2. So what's in common here that they're red? So this one has to be red. It could either be warning and zigzaggy, or it can be swirl and hole. Okay. Because it shares yellow and dashed. While here still shape and dash. This shares dash and red. This one shares sign and red. Okay. Ugh. This one's dashed in yellow, this one's dashed in yellow. I don't know, let's just change the shape, right? Let's do an X, you know what? There aren't really any X's here, so let's just throw an X in there. So, the yellow and dashes are the same here. Cool. Here it's yellow. Yellow and color. Okay. I solved the puzzle! You notice that you can now lift up the quilt. There's a photo underneath. Something is written on the back. There was all this heat and smoke and energy. There were alarms blaring and people shouting. That's what she told me, but I barely remember any of it. Here's what I did remember. When we stopped running, she seemed more tired than I was. She did carry me the entire time, but she didn't seem any weaker than before. Her hold on my body didn't loosen. She was just looking at what was left of my shoulder. I was hurting like you wouldn't believe, but I don't think I cared, because that day I got to see the sky again. Oh, more paper. Another month where the Security Advisory Council looked completely lost. It's like they don't know what to do with peacetime. They do amazing work, obviously, The world is secure and cybernetic technology is finally getting regulated. The laws are catching up with the science. That's a good thing, even if it makes their job a little less exciting. Or maybe a little less secure. I requested another transfer. My third in 3 years, but they didn't seem to mind. I just can't find work as engrossing as I used to. Probably doesn't help that I'm not sure what it is I do anymore. I mean, logically I know what I do. I research cybernetics. But I'm not sure what I do for STOP. STOP hasn't had a major security incident in months. The last incident they responded to was just a protest outside the building that got a little rowdy. Staff's morale has been down ever since. A little controversy is to be expected given the powers STOP has nowadays, if they're being naive if they expect people to be grateful for the organization forever. I might have transferred a few too many times. I came to work today and clocked out without recognizing a single face the entire time. New places, people, committees, projects, always more acronyms. And for the first time in years, I was denied access to internal data. I didn't think anything could be above my pay grade anymore. Note to self, look up YTDI. I was very disappointed with the state of the Youth Training and Development Initiative. That's how I put it in writing. I don't really have the right words to express my disgust with this program's existence. The idea that cybernetic sync rates increase the earlier in life treatment starts was based off a completely different timeline, assuming that we were talking about 18 versus 24. It was never supposed to justify whatever the hell they're doing now. They don't actually care about reducing rejection symptoms or making the cybernetics work more seamlessly. They care about creating a product by experimenting on children. Children that no one else cares about. They want to produce cybernetic trainees that are powerful, unthinking, and unflinchingly obedient to authority. STOP plans to sell these trainees as a force to keep its donors on top. I got a transfer to the YTDI as a supervisor. No one ever seemed to be ashamed to give me full access. I get the sense that my superiors aren't paying attention to what's happening. This might be the most infuriating part for me. They don't care whether this program succeeds or fails. The implication I'm getting is that this is far from the only program of its kind. It might be the one of many, many more. He smiled at me. Even though he's seen me here, everyone else he's seen here, everyone dressed like me, acting like me, working for the same people as me, has made him suffer. He smiled at me. I'm getting better at coming up with excuses to visit him at least. I need to evaluate how he's coping with the procedures, just like the other YTDI trainees. I might need to test his reflexes. Hell, he might even need a snack to make him more cooperative. All my explanations are superficially believable at best. I am no medical professional. I am a supervisor. I oversee things. By all means, I should have been reprimanded for getting too involved. But no such warnings have come my way. I'm never going to be able to forget the look on his face when the convulsions started. He knew it was coming, and he knew there was nothing he could do to even brace himself for the pain. He's been through it countless times. I don't want to see it ever again. They claimed there was a clerical error that he didn't receive his anti-seizure medications that morning. I know that that was actually a punishment. He refused to obey during yesterday's mandatory exercises. You wouldn't treat an animal like this, much less another human. To them, he's less than that. I triggered the false alarm right on schedule, down to the second. My not at all false explosive followed suit. I had always understood that the chemical reaction was very simple to set up, but I still expected my first felony to present more challenges than this. Maybe I have a knack for this kind of thing. He didn't hesitate for 1 second when I asked him to come with me. As I rushed him through the fire exit, the look on his face at that moment has stuck with me. Could anyone else have looked more relieved? Maybe he should have hesitated. All that awaits him is a life in hiding. At least he'll have a choice from now on. So probably... Which one? Because this one we have the cybernetic eye. And I mean, it would still have to have some time to heal regardless, so... Is that correct? Yes, it is. Clear all puzzles without skipping them. Killed puzzler. I solved other puzzles. I have to admit that the puzzles in this room clicked the easiest for me. I didn't think they were like too complicated or hard at all. And more specifically, they were kind of easier to understand and very like visibly clear. Because like the Panopticon puzzle, that wasn't as complicated on revisiting. But that neuron puzzle, that kind of tripped me up still. And the first rooms puzzle, ugh, don't even get me started. But that wasn't because I was stupid. That was because I was stupid. The tutorial puzzle was because I was dumb and that I was like thinking too hard about it. But I do think the neuron puzzle, like I think that would have made sense if I thought about it more. I don't know. Something about it wasn't properly communicated in my brain. I don't know. Anyway, the screen behind you didn't turn on. Guess Cautionne was really serious about this whole silent treatment thing. The way should be clear now. You could look around a while longer, but chances are higher you won't like whatever else you find. Better keep moving. Just like nothing to say about any of this. Like, this guy can't shut up, and then the second they actually see stuff that they don't like, they're just silent. And it's like interesting. Really interesting. Looks like there are no screens in this corridor. You don't think you'll see any of Dr. Danger either. There really isn't much else to say about this hall. If that's the case, then this is probably close to the exit. You can't say you miss his nasally jabbering. And yet, you take it over that strange, baleful unease at the hums in the back of your mind. Like the silent air conditioner in your boss's office. It's not about your job. You did what you were supposed to. No, rather, you're bothered about the evidence itself. But why? All you remember are torture instruments and strange hobbies. Nothing out of the ordinary for a villain. Maybe you'll chew on it another day. For now, though, your priority is getting out of here. There is an exit right up ahead. It's in the middle of a big garage-like space, one filled with boxes of all shapes and sizes. Maybe it's for storing tools or materials. You don't really want to find out. Like the hallway before this, it's completely unremarkable. And besides, you've had enough of exploring. All that said, you weren't expecting your escape to be so straightforward. The exit's wide open. If you walked right through right now, you'll... Crap. You jinxed yourself. Hello? Who's there?
So, you finally made it. Did you like my games, lab rat?
Yeah, no, they were the last room. That was particularly very, very enjoyable, actually. Oh, he's gonna shoot me, and you know what? I probably deserve it. A gun. Why does he have a gun? They're supervillains, my guy. Like, what? Someone his age shouldn't. No, it's fake, is it? No, it's not. I don't know what place they're in, but you know, I always believe America is doing war crimes, so you know, I don't think it would be particularly hard to get hands on a firearm. You know, you can just go to Walmart. Haha. Ha ha ha. Of course, it's just a practical joke of his, it's not. I'm glad you're having fun at all, but I should really get going. See, adults have these things called jobs and... Oh, it just hit your knee. Damn. Ah! 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 I'm not yelling. Damn. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. You can't believe you made such a rookie mistake. And you can't... you can't stand anymore. What? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get out of here now?
Shut up.
Patronize me at your own risk, is what I should have said before firing, but I'm still new to this. Kinda like you and your job, lab rat. That's why you don't scare me. You're just a low-level nobody living a hand-to-mouth life. That's why you did this mission, right? Because you wanted a sweet, you wanted a sweet, fat paycheck. You want to say something, but you're shaking and sweating everywhere. All you can do is open your eyes. Struggling just to open your mouth? That earned you plenty of pity points. If you weren't so gross about it. You've never experienced such pain before, have you? In fact, it seems like you haven't experienced much of anything. If I let you go, would your bosses even care? After all, you're not much of an investigator. How about I save you all the exit interviews and put things to an end here? No, you can still get up. If you crawl all the way back, they'll definitely forgive you.
I'll admit, I'm curious. When you're gone, will stop eulogize you? Or will they just write you off as another wasted asset? I'm undecided. But I wouldn't be much of a scientist if I didn't test my hypotheses.
I super died. Rip in pieces. My cat keeps meowing at me as per usual. Alright. Yeah, so, I'm currently looking at the main ending guide. Um, there are 3 endings based on what you look at in the rooms. And I kind of have a feeling that... I don't know. I don't know what ending this is. Hopefully they'll tell me. But it does look like... Let me see. There's 3 endings, depending on how many items you've inspected in each of the rooms. Ending C requires you to look through all of them. Ending A requires you to look through 5 or less. And ending B is 6 through 11, or miss more than one item. So I'm not 100%er. Because I'm not sure if it doesn't count the ones where, like, if you fail a puzzle, communication error, meet and ending. Okay, so apparently this one has 3 variations depending on which room you explored the most. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right ahead and do the other endings. I'm just gonna skip right to them. There are only 3 endings. This game isn't particularly long, and I'm just gonna be looking on the walkthrough for the rest of the puzzles, just so I'm not spending a lot of time on them. So, see you in a moment. Looks up. Finally, you're tired of that brat's antics. Yeah, you didn't do your job properly. You certainly didn't take advantage of the intel opportunities you were given. But in your position, who would? With a little groveling and brown-nosing, you'll be back to your usual routine, handing locked suitcases to labs and giving your boss his 3 o'clock coffee. Besides, Stop will send a better agent in your place. A capable one who will sponge up information and collect samples like there's no tomorrow. But if that agent isn't you, it's never you. You just come to work for a decent salary. Alright, agent. Get going already. You've got a layer to break out of. There it is. There's the exit. And the path is clear. No guards, no traps, just a big garage littered with cardboard boxes. Huh. You weren't expecting your escape to be so simple. You spoke too soon. Identify yourself.
How many guesses will you need this time?
No more TV screens, huh? Don't need them. Not if I'm going to finish what Dr. Danger started. Using that? Kid, you shouldn't be wielding.
Shut up!
And let me talk, lab rat. I didn't actually think you'd make it this far. At last, your puzzle-solving skills were decent. In another life, you'd make quite the sidekick. Well, maybe if you'd free me. Hell no. You're dangerous, lab rat, and I can't just let you go. The brat's got bravado, you'll give him that. He keeps getting that revolver remarkably steady, even though he's shaking all over. But he's still just a kid. Might never even have wielded a weapon before for all his big talk. On the other hand, you're a stop agent. You can draw and fire a gun faster than anyone can say knife. It's the first thing they teach you as a trainee. He's scared, but he's not going to hesitate any longer. You exhale, and before his finger can shake itself over the trigger, you raise your gun toward his torso. You half expected that freak to go down cackling like a scene out of a superhero movie. A villain shrieking with laughter even as they're plugged with 1,000 rounds. But Cautionne's final moments are surprisingly quiet. He stutters out a pained gasp. He reaches forward, struggles to grab something you can't see. He falls. His gun clatters on the floor. He doesn't move again. As you walk from the garage, you do your best to ignore his lifeless body. From the corner of your eye, you watch his blood ooze onto the floor. Once a better agent comes here to gather evidence, they'll clean the stains and burn the corpse. The sight of the blood at the edge of your vision fills you with exhaustion. You just want to get out of here and let someone higher sort this shit out. But as you leave, you can't help but think to yourself, that was easy. Easier than it should have been, maybe. Or maybe not. But one thing's for sure. There's one less villain out there now. One less threat. One less thorn in Stop's side. When you write up your report, that's all you'll be able to say. Well, that version of the main character was just a cold piece of shit. But I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't have any connection with anybody here, right? And judging that the ending A, not ending A, this is ending A, that ending B requires you not to have completed Get Everything, and then ending C, Breakout Role, requires you to get requires you to get everything without messing up. Kind of makes it's like you don't have enough information to communicate with Cautionne properly, but in this one, you don't have any question. You don't have any, words. They do not come to me easily, it seems. You don't have any connection to Cautionne. You don't care. You know, you got in, you got out, you have no connection to these people. I did notice that there were small variations depending on, I guess, how much you looked at versus how much you looked at versus how much you maybe interacted with stuff. I'm not really sure. I skipped through the puzzles, so. Alright, one more ending to go. I'll see you guys back in just a sec. This appears to be a locked box, but it's without a lock. You give the lid a small tug and it opens. There's no dust inside, but a stale odor wafts out. Clearly, this hasn't been opened in a long time. You find a lab coat with an ID pinned above its breast pocket. There's no photo, but the name Deirdre Destrange is clearly printed on the plastic card alongside a worn barcode. The coat itself is high quality, but it's worn around the edges. Deirdre must have used it for a long time, taking good care of it all the while. You see framed photos, diplomas, certificates, and awards. All of them belong to this Deirdre Destrange. In and of itself, a doctorate in cybernetic biology is impressive, but Strange received this years ago. To be that experienced at a young age, right when the science was still so new, she must have been on the cutting edge of the field. At the bottom of the pile, you find a dented, dusty medal. An award for continued service to the international security community? The medal's name has been violently scratched out, and yet you think you see the remnants of a familiar logo. To be honest, the lack of nasally jabbering kind of puts you on edge. Not that you like that brat who called you a lab rat and trapped you in several rooms with lethal puzzles, but the silence forces you to focus on something much louder and much more disturbing. Thoughts that are only now coming to the forefront of your mind. You think about Dr. Deirdre Destrange. You think about the results of your investigation, and you think about yourself, a tiny cog in a massive machine. A sleek, pristine, reliable machine. Carefully cleansed of the blood it spilt. A deep, dark pit follows in your stomach. Slowly you make your way forward, each step heavier than the last. I've learned empathy. I've learned sympathy. That's so kind of me. In a large garage filled to the brim with cardboard boxes, the exit waits for you, wide open. It's night already. Outside, you hear the quiet rushing of a river. Just a few more steps, and you're out of here. Even more, and you'll be back on the bus home. It'll take a couple hours to get back to HQ. You'll nap on the ride, probably, so by that time you'll get to your stop, you'll have enough energy to run up thousands of narrow stairs. And you'll reach your boss's office, and... well, what'll happen next? You'll definitely get that bonus. If this isn't going above and beyond, maybe you'll get a promotion, a better salary, better benefits, a better home, a better life, something you've always wanted. And maybe that'll help you sort out the pit that's
Finally
been
going
growing
to
in your
take responsibility?
Not now, kid. The last thing you need is him showing up and...
I see my escape rooms have worked their magic. I didn't think it was possible, but you're feeling guilty, aren't you?
Yeah, I am actually. Crazy, right? Guilt? Is that what this is? Wow! Over something you didn't do? All those years, you must have been so proud to wear that uniform, to be a brave soldier fighting for such a pristine, justice-seeking organization like that. You feel sick, but it's not enough for you to feel bad. Because if I let you go home and get your bonuses and sleep in your nice bed, you'll be stumbling over yourself to forget everything that happened here as fast as possible. You, or your boss, or the next agent, you'll storm in here and sweep away everything me and Dr. Danger fought for. Someone better catch me and destroy this place. And stop. Stop will turn me into a nameless drone like I was supposed to be. He's shaking. He's trying to put on a brave face, but he's shaking.
But I don't want that, you know? I don't want to forget my home, my books, my bugs, my bed. And I don't want to forget myself. I don't want to forget about collecting stickers, or eating pudding, or sewing my first pair of mittens. And I don't want to forget Dr. Danger! She saved me! She raised me! She stood up for me when no one else did! And what did Stop do? They made her a villain! They took everything away from her! They killed her!
So what are you gonna do now, lab rat? You've still got your weapon, don't you? Come on, hit me with your best shot. Hit me! Because if you don't, I'll... You can't deal with this anymore. You don't want to fight him. You're not gonna use your gun?
Then, on behalf of Stop, die.
The bullet, it only grazed your cheek. Huh? Caution fell? What's coming?
I missed. I had the muzzle aimed at your head, the bullets loaded, and I missed. First try.
Caution's gaze is vacant. It's the same gaze as that boy in the scrapbook. That alone makes the pit in your stomach sink even deeper. So to fill it, you say something really, really stupid. You know, you could have fired again. I'm at a contact short distance.
No, I couldn't have. Trying to kill you was a lot more tiring than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it turns out it's exhausting. It turns out, you know, like, even if he did it, you know, like, which he does do in ending B, like, he could have dealt with it, for sure, but I think, I don't know. I feel like at a certain point, it is hard. Like, I don't, like, Caution's made jokes about killing people before, but I don't think he's actually done it. Right? I mean, sure, killing someone by pulling the trigger in your own hand is one thing, but I feel like he isn't, I don't know. I feel like he was partially putting up a bravado in the evil lab. Like, the blood maybe might have been real at one point, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know enough, right? But I don't know. I don't think this boy is. Well, yeah, we die. I guess it's different, right? Because if you design something to kill, I don't know. There's not really much of a difference. I don't know. Difficult to. You know, admittedly, if you're in an experiment and something bad happens, it's easier to probably dissociate yourself from that than it is to, say, kill someone with a gun and separate yourself from that. So, you know what? Fair, honestly. Tyrant.
Go. This is what you wanted, right? The exit's right there. Go back to your home. Your TV. Your money. I was fooling myself. Thinking I could do what Dr. Danger did for me. So go. I hope the guilt eats at you for the rest of your fucking life.
Slowly, you make your way toward the exit. When you finally make it outside, you turn back. The boy's still sitting there, legs sprayed haphazardly, arms floppy, still staring at you. You stare back at him, give him a curt nod. He doesn't react. So without a other word,
Hey, lab rat.
you turn back. You turn back and see him forcing an attempt at a villainous grin.
If you really feel that bad about it, I did sneak copies of everything you've seen here onto your device. I found your address while you were looking around.
Thanks.
Pretty devious idea, right? Downright heinous.
He takes a deep breath and exhales.
Alright. Here's another world-class criminal scheme for you. Stop Agent Stake's reputation, credentials, leaks internal docs to all four corners of the net. Not a bad headline. Could make for a half-decent start to a villainous career.
Oh, word? Me too.
Your choice, obviously. But I know what I'm talking about. After all, I am a supervillain.
Alright. And that was MalViolence. It's not a particularly long game, as you guys can tell. I don't know, I enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't like the most groundbreaking story in the world, but um, I thought the conceit is fun. I like the excuse to have the puzzle rooms in there. Um, I do like how it's pretty easy to skip if you just wanted like the story, which is in itself a tragic one. Um, I imagine it does sit better in my brain knowing that Proto-Violence, which is the prequel, exists, which I believe has you play as, well, Deirdre, but Doctor Strange, um, with Caution as he was before. Um, so I'm very interested in playing that. I have unlocked extra screens in the main menu. Let's check those out. Let me in. Where are they? Where are the extras? Out? Ah, okay. This game was crafted with love within 30 days for NaNoWriMo 2013. No, it's 2023. It's not 2013. It might be dumb. Oh, that just opened a link. Whoops. Ellipse? Nice. Oh, there's extras. Breakout roll, escape, mission accomplished, communication error, housewarming, skilled master, diligent puzzler. A for effort. Make all the mistakes for science. Leave no stone unturned. Clear every puzzle on the hardest difficulty, and then a hidden achievement. I might get those later. I'm not particularly. This game isn't long, and so I can definitely get those on my own, regardless. It is a free game that you can get, so if you enjoyed this, you might as well have fun and just like get it yourself and play through the puzzles and get all the endings if you're curious about all the other dead ends. I might do those on my own separately, but I'm not gonna really like go out of my way for this Let's Play, honestly. I'm playing this after I finished Signalis, and playing that game to get all the endings kind of exhausted me. And I mean, that game is longer and has more physical gameplay to it, but like also, it was tiring, and I don't really feel like doing that. Especially in this case, since this is a free event. So if you want to get all of these, you can play it yourself. Let's see, let's read the developer's notes. There's so much I want to say about making this project, but all I can muster right now is thank you for letting me direct, and I really want to eat a cheesy corn dog right now. MalViolence is my first work as a director of a visual novel, rather than a solo dev. I was worried about taking on such an important role, and I didn't know how my vision would be executed when working in a team, but I'm really happy that I ended up working with such kind, talented teammates for this NaNoWriMo 2023. Their kindness and incredible work has brought me a lot of confidence, because with them I found a new love of directing things. Hope you enjoyed Caution's and Dr. Danger's story. Let me know what you think on the itch.io comments or on Twitter. I'd love to see your feelings on my lovely little family of villains. I know on the whole game as a whole, but for now, ciao! Matto, director, CG artist, and writing. Matto's strong vision and the whole team's dedication is what made this project come together. I hope you enjoyed playing as much as we enjoyed working on it. It was a pleasure contributing to the script and to the story where I could. Thank you for playing. Brian Mulholland, writing. Thank you for playing. Thanks for everyone on the team for making everything possible. Learned a lot and had fun. See you, writing. So grateful for the work, and work with such a talented team under such a strong director on this Nano. I hope you enjoyed playing the game as much as I enjoyed working on it, and I hope the puzzles gave you a little trouble, but not too much trouble. Spec, puzzle designer. Putting everyone's work together was a lot of fun, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Huge thanks to Matto and Spec for their coding contributions. They're responsible for the astounding level of polish and the cooler puzzles, respectively. I learned so much this past month, and I can't wait to put it for good use on my own games. Also, you my new son. Thank you. Kigyo Dev, programmer. I should probably say who said it. Thank you for the chance to work on the MalViolence. It's my first game jam in a while, and I'm really excited to see everything come together. Spisaze, UI and logo. Thank you for playing. Reina, backgrounds. What an What an honor to provide the voice of this unhinged yet tragic little scrunkly. Getting to work on a project like this has been an absolute honor, and I couldn't be more than thankful for the team for giving me this chance. Who knows what adventures await for our little pint-sized mad scientists? Whatever that may be for you, don't forget to be out there and approach life just like any real supervillain, with presentation. Carrick, Inebnet, Cautionne's VA. What can I say except wow, OMG, wow, I had such an amazing time participating, and I hope everyone else enjoys. Vin Vox, Dr. Danger VA. My team and I at Very Berry Studios are very thankful for the opportunity to cast and find the voice actors for MalViolence. I'm super happy with the final result, and I think the casting is perfect, and Matto chose the perfect actors to represent Cautionne and Dr. Danger. MalViolence is such a unique project when it comes to both the art and the process of playing the game, so I hope everyone who played enjoys this to the full potential. Everyone on the team worked super hard. Phoebe Fabecher, voice direction. It was an honor to work on this project. Thanks to the voice actors and musicians for letting me present their contributions in the best light. I wanted to achieve the best sounding game audio I could, and I hope that comes through. May my sound design startle your ear holes as well. MalViolence turned out to be a great and unique game. I almost didn't join the project, but I am glad I did. Thanks to everyone on the team MalViolence, and thanks to anyone who plays D. Ray, audio mastering and SFX. I consider myself to be part of such a unique team and game as my first ever experience with game development. MalViolence is the first project I ever worked on as a music composer, and it was a really exciting experience. Everyone on this team worked very hard to make it an amazing game, and I'm really happy to be able to say this was the first team I was part of. It was wonderful to see behind the curtains of the development of a visual novel for the very first time. I hope my contribution has touched you in some way and has made this project even more amazing. Doran, music. I am more than thankful for Matto for inviting me on board to compose music for MalViolence. As was my first time composing BGM, I learned quite a lot in composing music for MalViolence and games in general, especially in managing the time to make sure stuff gets done and make sure the music is loopable. I hope you enjoyed what I have brought to this lovely VN. Between you and me, my favorite track is the jail cell theme. I also can't over the coincidence that Cautionne happens to have an Xi like me. Melody music. It's been a blast to work with the talented and creating people on the production of this project. Jenny Humala, trader. This is the best game ever known because I am a gamer. Glennie's just QA testing. I was there for one day, and in I was here for one day, and in that time I gained a crippling fear of panopticons and crippling attraction to Cautionne. No regrets. W. Bryan, QA testing. Interesting how you weren't afraid of panopticons before makes you really think. No, I'm just joking. That was cute. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for MalViolence. I don't really have much to say. It's not, it's a cute short PN. I say cute as if some of the stuff isn't upsetting. But, I am excited to play Proto-Violence. Again, as I stated, this isn't anything super crazy, and knowing that it's also I think this might have been released a little bit later than the Nano submission to be a little more cleaned up, because I think this is specifically the definitive version, so I think some things were cleaned up or fixed up a little bit from that Nano project, but knowing that it's a short game, I think it feels like for a short game, it still has a decent length that has a decent enough stuff going on. I think it kind of pulls the mystery in a really interesting manner. Where is the babysitter? Who knows? It's not really a question we need to worry about, because that was more so showing that how Dr. Danger really cares about Cautionne in that way. And I mean, obviously things are more complicated than they first appear, and also it was kind of obvious that Stop was bad from the beginning. And again, I don't know how much of that was my own already knowing that Proto-Violence exists and kind of just, because this game has been out for a number of months before I even touched it. And I've been following Matto since they released Bad Faith. Since she released Bad Faith, apologies. Since she released Bad Faith. So I've seen Cautionne before this. I kind of already knew some of the stuff. Proto-Violence has already been out for a little bit, so I kind of already knew the connection between that character and Caution as well. But um, you know, but yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I think it was very effective, like the East rooms, the acts, and yeah, I don't really have anything much to add. I just really enjoyed myself, and again, if you like this game, support the creator for sure. It is just a free game you can get on itch.io, so if you at all liked it, download it, play it yourself, review it. What's the problem? Alrighty, I hope you guys have a good one. See you later.